Hello, alchemists! Thanks for joining me, Lonehawk, for this episode of Mythic-Ranked Alchemy. Today we'll go over our Magic the Gathering Alchemy Best of One deck, then show it in action against the top-ranked players in Arena today. I'll wrap up with a quick review, potential substitutions, and a look forward. With that, let's get to the deck. Today we have a Naya Legends deck I'm calling Quickbloom. It is a red, white, and green alchemy deck that uses some great new cards and old favorites. Its core is based around Delighted Halfling. It's a 1/2 Halfling Citizen for 1 green that adds a colorless or adds 1 mana of any color, but you have to spend the mana to cast a legendary spell, and it prevents that spell from being countered. Another base of the deck is another Lord of the Rings card, Flowering of the White Tree. For 2 white mana, it's a legendary enchantment that buffs your legendary creatures and gives them ward, and also gives non-legendary creatures you control +1/+1. And nearly everything in this deck is legendary. In the way of new cards, we've got Ash Party Crasher. It's an uncommon from Wilds of Eldraine. That's a 2/2 haste that gets a +1/+1 counter if it gets Celebration before it attacks. And also in that same vein, we have Godric, Cloaked Reveler, that also has Celebration and Haste. In Godric's case, it becomes a dragon 4/4 with Fire Breathing for all dragons. Then let's talk about land. Because we are casting almost all legendary creatures and enchantments, we have Great Hall of the Citadel. It's a common, and it can convert any mana into 2 mana with a tap to any 2 mana to cast legendary spells, which we've got a ton. We've got the best card in Wilds of Eldraine Alchemy, Captivating Crossroads. It's a rare that lets you choose its color when you play it, and only comes in tapped if you were the first player, and it's the first 3 turns. So majority of the time this is an untapped land. It does take away a little bit of the advantage of being on the play, but it is well worth it in terms of smoothing out the mana base. Because we've got a lot of legendary creatures, we have Minas Tirith for some card draw. I don't think it's a critical card for this deck because it is one of those cards that makes you win more when you are winning, and doesn't do a whole lot for you when you're losing. Our main problem with the deck is that our creatures get removed. So when that happens, this card doesn't do a whole lot. Then again, because we have so many legendary creatures, it can often enter the battlefield untapped, so we're not really paying a whole lot for it. We also have Plaza of Heroes, which is great for both mana smoothing and surprise protection of our creatures. For its big ability outside of mana smoothing is for 3 and a tap and exile Plaza of Heroes. Target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So if your opponent isn't looking at what you've got and keeping close count on your mana, you can surprise protect them, and that can definitely win games. We've got Restless Bivouac. It has really increased in my esteem over this season, as it is really helpful against control decks. It can't be countered, it doesn't stick around to be removed, and it's awesome in that it buffs either other creatures, or it can buff itself, then hide, and then come back out and attack again for more. So, and it also gets the buff from Flowering of the White Tree, so this can be quite a threat. And then we've got a couple of the fast lands to smooth things out. Also in the mono ramping is Ruby Daring Tracker. Most of our legends we are running 2 copies of. We wanted to run an extra copy of Ruby Daring Tracker because she is so huge for getting off to that big start. Let's then go to the various legends. We've got Feldon, Ronom Excavator. It's a 2/2 haste that gives you a little bit of card advantage when it takes damage. We've got Kellen the Fey-Blooded from the Wild Spell Drain set that has an adventure allowing you to go get a aura or equipment, and then buffs the team for each aura and equipment attached to him, along with having double strike. So all sorts of good things from this card. It's a lightning rod. If it survives more than a turn and gets to attack, it's pretty much game over. One of the stars of the deck is Samut, Vizier of Noctimoon. It's a 2/3 first strike vigilance haste that also gives you some card draw, often getting a card on the turn it comes in, and can produce card draw with other haste creatures. Rocco Street Chef is a fantastic card. It will help you buff your team and provide some card draw as well. At the end of your end step, each player exiles the top card of their library. Until your next end step, each player may play the card they exiled this way. Whenever a player plays a land from exile or casts a spell from exile, which includes Kellen if you've cast the adventure, you put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature and create a food token. So, most of the time, all you have to do is play that exiled card, and you have Celebration. So you trigger Godric, you trigger Ash. We've got Eowyn Fearless Knight. This is a great card for getting past Shieldred. And it's also good to knock out the big creatures of mono green. When Eowyn Fearless Knight enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls with greater power. She's also a 3/4 haste, so if the flowering of the white tree isn't in play, or this will exile Shieldred. If flowering of the white tree is in play, well, now you're looking for a 6 or greater strength creature, but that can come in handy as well. I've got 1 copy of Tori Davenant. I've got 1 copy of this card. It's a 3/3 Vigilance Trample, and whenever it attacks, all other attacking creatures get +1/+1 until end of turn, and red attacking creatures gain Trample, and white attacking creatures untap, so they gain Vigilance. We've got Eomer of the Rittermark, a 5/4 haste that creates a 1/1 white human creature token if you have the creature with the greatest power on the battlefield, which is often Eomer. This can be really awesome in games against Toxic, where you want to attack, but also want to have a blocker back. So this does both. And a real star is Diero and Hazaret, which is a human god. It's a 5/4 that when you attack, you can look at the top 6 cards of your library, exile a legendary creature, and you can play it without paying its mana cost. But the really cool effect is if you have 1 or less cards in hand, it has Vigilance and Haste. So the opponent thinks that they've run you down, that you got very little to play, and boom, this comes out, swings for 5 or 7, and you get to drop another legendary creature, which almost always you've got in the top 6. So supporting the legends here, we've got In the Trenches. Gives creatures you control +1/+1, and can exile one non-land permanent for 5 and a white. So it does two things that we need. It's pretty spendy for that exile, but with all our ramp, we often get there. We've got Audacity, which is the lone target for Kellen, the Fey-Blooded's adventurer. Can go and get this, and that often gets us both Celebration, and it gets you card draw, and it gets usually a creature up to 4 power, which activates Ruby Daring Tracker. Monstrous Rage, you know it. It effectively gives you +3/+1 for the turn, and gets you a monster roll token, which gives the creature trample. And then a card that will have your opponent wondering what the heck it is, and probably doesn't anticipate this one. You Cannot Pass. If you're a fan of the Lord of the Rings movie, it's just a blast to play. You hear that scene with Gandalf and the Balrog in your head. And since we've got so many legendary creatures, there's actually a bunch of times that this very conditional spell is exactly what we need. So that's the deck. Let's get to the gameplay and see it on the ladder. Alright. Top 500 player. On the draw. Looks like a pretty good starting hand. Sort of, kind of. Do that, and up. Got Audacity, so let's see. If we do red here, yeah, we can do what we want to do. They bring in Fairy Mastermind. So we've got Simic Fairies. Well, that's interesting. That was not the card I expected to see in a top 500 deck. What do we want here? I think we want red. And we bring in Godric. Yeah, don't do that. We'll do red here. Yeah, we bring in Godric. Gives them trample and... Oh! Yeah, I forgot exactly what Ivy does. Simic Fairy Aggro. Alright, well. I think we can just do this and win. Unless they counter the spell. They have 8. I mean, you're not going to be blocking any of them, so we might as well all attack. So they have 9. They get a bunch of cards. We will play that. Bring in Restless Bivouac. And hopefully that does it. They are not giving up yet. We will put a counter there. Two Lock Whales. That would do it. Good game. Woohoo! Top 500 victory. Help me turn my channel into gold. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I will do my best to deliver. That'll work. Still likely to be a hard match, even with the mulligan. Glad we have good lands. Let's play white, actually. Getting a slow start against another Orzhov deck. Now we need something that will play red. Odds that this actually survives are slim. Man, that sounds like I should put in a copy of Tyvar Sand. Let's make this... I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's make it red, though. Yes, red is good. I need the red for the Monstrous Rage. Haha! What removal do they have in store for us? They don't even have a reprieve. Interesting. Alright, we are going to... let's get the Bivouac out there. You know I have the audacity. You are tapped out, so I can just do this at any time I want. Save one for other potential targets. Enter. Ooh, the Simulator. Interesting. It's a good card. Thinking of crafting it. Fortunately, we don't have any graveyard effects. Oh, he's going for more life gain. What fun do we have in store now? Yeah, I think white is what we want here. And yeah. We'll send this to combat. I'll attack. We will put it on there. Oh, sorry. Do not get to kill me today. Good game. Equal ranks. Not the best hand, but I think we've got to go for it. On the draw, so we do have a little bit more. Let's play the Bivouac. likely a pig deck. Which is kind of a weak spot of ours because they will run first Little Pig, nope, this is just plain poison. Okay, what do we want to do here? We've got options. I think this is going to be better. Yeah, let's do green and bring out Rocco. Play a little bit defensively and long term. If we can find a white to seal from existence, that the enchantment itself and Ash re-entering the battlefield will trigger celebration. Gotta love that. Okay. What can we do here? We really want to play that Audacity. But then again, Vizier of Nactamoon is going to be a huge help. So, I think we do that. I think they gang block that. Were it me, I would... Yeah, I don't think we can attack here. Ooh, that's nice. If we can find a way to play it. I have not been mana bound for a while with this deck. Kind of poor timing for it now. Looking like they're going to remove something else. Yeah. So yeah, not so great against removal decks. I think that's the first time I've seen it done in the correct order, so there's some confusion. Well, that's strange. We will block you. I'm far more afraid of the venom than the damage. Have to figure the combat tricks coming. Uh-huh. There we go. I think we're gonna get owned on this one. Unless something very cool happens very quickly. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Good game. Ranked match. Here we go. That's not bad. Yeah, we got a 2, 3, and 4 with probably the land to support it on the draw. Nice that they have a tap land. Also very nice that we got the halfling down. Yeah, do we... go for the instant? Yeah, I think we go big here. Get Ash down. Please try and counter it. It is not counterable. Oh, but it is retrievable. Goofball. We will enter. Saving the Audacity to trigger Celebration. Alright, well, gotta love seeing that removal there. And we will just try that same thing again with definitely. And we want, I think, red. Yeah, definitely red. Demolition Field, a card that is definitely increased in value with the creature lands. Oh, and looky, we can trigger Celebration again. That. Oh, and they Sunfall. We draw a card. Do we see the ring here? I think they're just waiting for us. Yeah. Dehero and Hazoret is not hasty. I remove this almost certainly. Alright. Doing something else before combat? Gotta hope that that was their last removal. They're thinking. Yeah, I think we gotta keep going slow. If you don't get to attacking, it does not help. Ooh, that is awfully expensive removal. It kind of looks like their last one. They transform and they search. Swing. You sure you want to be doing that with this up there? It suggests that they have an answer for it. They don't. Oh, so nice. And yeah, I gotta play that. Probably triggers a Sunfall. Oh, they have a second end. They just didn't have the... Oh. Huh. Seems an awful waste to use that for... for the... Seems a waste to use the Seal of Existence on that, but... Did draw the counterspell. To combat, all attack. We'll make it indestructible. And I get to look at cards. 3 cards. I'll take that one. And their hand is empty. Well. Okay, well, this is nice and big. This gives Feldon above 5, and it will boost Ruby so she can survive any block. Block is forced. Do they gang block Feldon? That is what we want for damage. We get to look at cards. And we will take Aylmer. Oh yeah, they can see that one. That is not in my hand. Good game. Just barely enough to get the win. Gets us up to 97. Yes. Another big ranked match. Good land. Very good land. Now we just need to draw into one of our big hits. We are on the play too. It's looking like, oh, no cut down. That is so awesome. That means we Great Hall and Feldon. No, actually Halfling first. Ooh, did I screw up? Nope. That's uncounterable. Interesting that they held the cut down that long. Okay. Yep. Let's get this going. And do we all attack? Yeah. So they're looking very much like Rakdos aggro. Guess it's a question of whether they have something else. You take him, we just find another one. That kind of empties our hand, though. I kind of have to play control at this point. So... Yep. Interesting. I don't really want to lose Ruby in this. Looking for, wondering whether they want to block the halfling. Yeah. They can take out one. Yeah. They limit the damage. And they, yeah. Direct damage to me. So we will not think doing this is worth it to we can Plaza of Heroes. Yeah. To save Ash. Nice. Ranked win again. Yeah, this'll work. Okay, well, yeah, I think, oh, gotcha. Not much choice. We drew a removal. So we actually could get that in there. But I think it makes more sense to do this. We want to keep the green open. Awesome. Draw a card. Captivating Crossroads, and play the other halfling. Yep, 3 blind mice. I think we want to we would like to we'll take that. And that. I'll attack. That's a cute pet. How surprising. Okay. We are down to top decking. We have no red. That kind of sucks. There's a Dollmaker. Opponent ranked 211. We are on the play. This looks great. Wonder what we're up against. We do have one tapped land. Yeah, we don't know whether we want... I don't know whether we want to play Feldon on the second turn or Flowering of the White Tree. And either of them will take mean tapping. And we really don't want to let Pheresis Roach through. So actually, yeah, we can use that as a tap land. Probably works the best. We don't really want to put Audacity on the halfling. No attacks. End turn. Well, I don't want to let it through. Presumably they've got some sort of combat trick here. Yep, Relic Treatment. Kill the halfling. And we have nothing. So it is go time, as they say. Well, obviously they got something to hold priority. Fortunately, we're in Alchemy. They don't have Fading Hope. Next turn, they're just going to have heroes. What do they do now? Second Pheresis Roach. We can play a blocker. probably makes sense to do. Because, yeah, they'll do 4 poison next time and then be set up to do 6. This is certainly a situation where Tori is superior to Squee. And we do have lethal set up for next turn, depending on what they do here. In fact, I don't even need them. Do they swing? They swing. They seem like they're going to do something. Well, saves you for a turn. I think the Great Hall is the one that you... So you got Proliferate, we're done. Good game. I think we should learn from the previous few games and mulligan this one. Ooh, that is scary. I don't think we want to go any deeper, though. Let's trust in our mana base. We get... Oh, so good. Let's show white. Then... Upward mechanic. Interesting. They're going to be drawing a lot of cards. Red. And Party Crasher. You know what? I'm going to trust that they want that card. Alright. The next turn is the Halfling. Haven. Two flyers. Could use a land here. Oh, it's a tapped land though, so maybe I should have been more specific in my request. Fortunately, they are playing pretty slow as well. Oh, that is just too good. Still not out of the woods, but Eowyn, this is the moment you were made for, or at least selected into this deck. We could also seal from existence, but this is just so much better. Down to 8. As it stands, we have it's less than ideal, but we are on a clock here, and this picks us up an extra turn. Well, they just have plenty of removal. Oh, another tap land. Killing me, Smalls. Next to combat, next to attackers, end turn. So yeah, it's looking like Mirror of the Rittermark should be a different card. Alright, my turn. Yeah, nothing there. Good game. Okay, well, that was really fun. 4 things that we can replace. I think we could actually add another You Cannot Pass. I think there may be some other auras that we may want to look for to become targets of Keldon the Fey-Blooded. We definitely want the Audacity, but Ossification is a potential. Another potential one would be Hammerhand. That's a spell that gives your creature +1/+1 haste, and it also prevents one target opposing creature from blocking this turn. So that can be really useful to get that finisher in. And it's a common. So if you don't have the wild cards for Audacity, that's definitely a possibility here. It could also replace Monstrous Rage. Delighted Halfling and Flowering of the White Tree are absolutely crucial. Among other legends, so replacing Feldon, Ash, Kellen is pretty crucial, but Godric we could probably find a replacement for. Eowyn and Eomir. All these could be played with in their numbers. And then there are plenty of other legends that we could play that you could swap in. So anything in the Naya and the red, green, white categories really works better with white and red because of the Restless Bivouac. Samut really is the star of this deck. I don't think I would replace that. It is a mythic. I did start out with just 1 copy in here, and definitely 2 is a big improvement. I'm wondering if even 3 would be a good idea. Rocco Street Chef really checks a lot of boxes. If you are not running Ash and Godric, value goes way down though, so if you find replacements for those, you can probably replace Rocco as well. Tori Davenant, I think, is a potential drop. It's just slower, and it is at 3/3 for 4. It is not entirely mana efficient either. Then some other possible replacements. Rook Hexgold Nabber. If you decide instead of the buffs that we have here, Monstrous Rage and Audacity, you could put in some equipment. I think Mirren Banesplitter. It's a white, it's a 1 red common equipment that gives +2/+0 and has flash to attach to a creature when it enters the battlefield, which is really cool for a surprise. It fills almost the same role as Monstrous Rage. Squee would be a great option. It becomes a 4/3 with Flowering of the White Tree that gives you a 2/2 token attacking, so plus get you more blockers. It's a legitimate replacement for Eomer or Tori, or a lot of the cards actually. Theoden, we've got a lot of humans in the deck, so giving a creature you control double strike might be a cool thing. There's Danitha, who is a 4/4 for 5, but with first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Maybe if you're getting a lot of mono red. She's pretty expensive for the deck, but does trigger Celebration pretty much automatically, because you can put an aura or equipment on her for free. Not many of our creatures have lifelink, so that's a benefit. Maybe a replacement for Eomer, or probably not Diarro and Hazoret, just because that card is so good in the deck. I was also looking at maybe Quintorius, kind of cool card that's similar to Rocco, a little more expensive, but can do some cool things. Shadowfax, an uncommon, but it's a 4/4 haste for 5 that lets you put a creature card with lesser power from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. I may have to try this one instead of Eomer or instead of Tori. I think it would fit well in either of those slots. Another card, if you're looking to go the equipment route, is Nahiri, Forged in Fury. It has an affinity for equipment, so can reduce the mana cost of 6, and then makes equipment spells cheaper. And also gets you equipment spells when an equipped creature attacks. I don't know that it's a great fit for this deck, but I think it probably could be reworked to make that work out a little bit better. Another card that I don't have that might work well in this deck is Anduril. Am I saying that right? Let's go search for it real quick. So yeah, this card would definitely warrant a place in here. could try it out with 1 copy. Kellen, with the search ability, gets effectively turns that into 3 copies, so might work. It's a little bit pricey. May have to try this out. If you try it out, let me know. I'd love to see how it works. That's our recap. Thanks for watching to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't, what you want to see, and I will do my best to deliver. Until next time, I hope that Magic makes a golden day for you.